Ag Life, presented by ADM Lloydminster.
Hello again and welcome to our agriculture show, Ag Life. I'm Gerard Lampow. On the menu, a Carcass research study is pointing to the losses that the beef industry incurs, plus the series Real Farm Lives continues and we meet the young mechanics. But first, to keep going when all is bleak around you is a character trait that's difficult to maintain. I meet a motivational speaker who brings the energy to the room.
On a campground in Kitchener-Waterloo in Ontario.
Author Stuart Knight is encouraging young farmers to stick with it, especially in times of crisis.
It's so important for people who have any type of goal in life to be willing to cheer themselves on as opposed to waiting for everyone else around them to be the cheerleader for them. Because if you're going to wait for other people to be your big cheerleader, you're going to be waiting for a very long time. And the one person you can always rely on is you. You're there every day. So if you cheer yourself on, you can cheer yourself on to do great things.
Knight, who is based in Toronto, shares with the young farmers at FCC Ignite as he applies his motivation on the farm.
You face the biggest challenges with weather. Let's say it doesn't go the way you hoped it would go, or you find yourself having challenges with money. I mean, it takes a lot of money and you're investing a lot of it into that farm. Sometimes you don't get the loans you want, or maybe it's a case where you have a bunch of workers who leave and they go to another job. You're consistently being hit with negative things when you are a farmer. It's a tough job to have. So you need to cheer yourself on those tough days, because if you don't, then you're never going to be able to survive.
Surviving and thriving in a hostile climate is key to farming. Rural areas are being supported by social media as farmers are networking and supporting each other.
Farmers can easily find themselves thinking that because they live in small communities that maybe that they're disassociated with the world of social media, whether it's Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter. And yet farming is changing so much in so many ways, and I believe that social media is going to play a role in farming, and they need to be able to use that as a resource in order for them to be more successful at the work that they do.
Knight was 28 when he found himself in hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. If that happened on the farm, it could very well spell the end.
To dig yourself out of that feels like a most monumental task in the moment. But when you look back, you realize that there were very specific things that you had to do in order to overcome that enormous challenge. And to me, it's one of the most gratifying experiences that a person can have, because when you look back and you realize you paid down the debt and now you're successful and you've brought your ideas to fruition, to me, if you're going to do that as any type of entrepreneur, whether you are a farmer or whether you are an inventor, it's so exciting to know that you had an idea, you got knocked down, and you were the one that brought yourself back up.
A lot of people make fun of these books, and I think that they make fun of those books because they're afraid of what their life might look like if they did the things that the books suggested that they do.
Knight says the realization that you are much more successful than you give yourself credit for is a great awakening for the human spirit. And for his young farmers, it comes down to interaction with others.
The importance of communication skills, not only on your own farm, but also in the workplace. So learning how to hear the concerns of others and implement that onto your farm.
Well, it's time now to roll our events calendar. Remember, if you've got a community event, just email me, glampow@newcap.ca, and we can certainly get the word out there. Let's all have a look. When we come back, we have a segment looking at carcass defects in cattle and the losses to the industry. Do stay with us.
This segment of Ag Life is brought to you by Webb's Machinery. Webb's Machinery, your New Holland dealer in Vermilion, Vegreville, and Lamont.
And thanks again for choosing Ag Life. Well, this next bit of information is coming to us from the Beef Cattle Research Council. It's looking at a study done on the quality of Canadian beef carcasses. It found that defects in carcasses cost the industry about $110 million a year because of loss of product. The study, funded by the industry, occurs every few years and informs on strategies to prevent the most common losses. The latest study found that some defects like bruises and horns are becoming less common, while others like excess weight, liver health, and injection site lesions require further investigation of nutritional and health management strategies, and all of this towards reducing these losses. It's an honest conversation to have about our food story. Now, some of these images may be of a sensitive nature.
The quality of beef carcasses was assessed by visiting Canadian slaughter plants in the spring, fall, and winter to capture seasonal trends. During the audit, a minimum of 25,000 carcasses were evaluated during processing for each quality attribute examined. The results indicate that the percentage of fed and non-fed cattle with horns continues to decrease and is now less than 10%. About 13% of cattle have brands. While a continued decline in branding was seen for non-fed cattle, the use of brands in fed cattle appears to be increasing. The percentage of cattle with bruises in the non-fed population remains high, but did decrease from 86% in 2010-11 to 63%. The number of fed cattle with bruises remained at around 1 in 3 animals. Only surface injection site lesions can be seen on carcasses, and the percentage of carcasses affected increased significantly for both fed and non-fed cattle. Body condition scores for non-fed cattle have steadily improved over the years, and the average is now in the recommended range of 2.5 to 3. However, the number of overfat fed cattle has increased since 2010-11, with the average body condition score now above 4. The percentage of livers with significant abscesses increased in both fed and non-fed cattle populations. Approximately 68% of livers can be used for human food, where they capture the best value for the Canadian industry. The proportion of cattle with manure and mud on the hide, also known as tag, at the time of arrival at the slaughter plant has been increasing over the years. Generally fed cattle are more affected, although wet weather can also influence pasture conditions. In total, the economic losses from carcass defects observed during processing are now in the range of $110 million per year. Reducing these quality defects can benefit the entire Canadian beef and cattle supply chain.
And when we come back, it's time for Real Farm Lives with the Renwicks from Ontario. Do stay with us. Welcome back, everyone, and once again we are indeed grateful to Real Farm Lives for sharing their content with us. We're going to Ontario this time for sunflowers, corn, and zucchinis. And have you ever tried deep-fried zucchini flowers? I hear there's a recipe for that. Good to see Real Farm Lives. Let's meet the Renwicks from Ontario.
I'm a 7th generation farmer. Our children could be the 8th if they continue on. We enjoy teaching them as much as we can about agriculture, and we enjoy the nature and everything that goes along with living in a rural setting. Being on the farm, you get to watch a lot of life cycles go through. Whether it's the crop or the kids or my parents or my grandparents, we see the crop as a way that every year we get to renew that. There's a lot of life that's grown here, and to be able to see our kids grow and be able to continue what we've started and what my ancestors have started, I think we're very lucky to be able to do that. I'm Chris Renwick, and along with my wife Rachel and our 3 kids, Sadie, Sean, and Melise, we're grain and oilseed farmers from Wheatley, Ontario and Chatham, Canada. Okay, let's go. Last fall, we decided that we would try to put a grass strip around the farm. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Okay. For a little bit of entertainment. Melissa's been able to enjoy driving and be able to go and check out the milkweed or check out the different things around the farm on an area where we know that she's safe and we know that she can go and see lots of things, but also not damaging any crop and serving another purpose by having that grass strip there. A few of the flowers that have come up along there, we start to see the butterflies and we start to see other animals that are around there, and that's enjoyable for all of us. I still noticed a little bit of garbage along here. Maybe we could grab their gloves and just pick up some of this junk that's here and we'll throw it in the back so then we can take it back to the house and throw it away.
It's really important that our kids have that pride in their farm. They want to keep it clean, trying to maintain it and keep the garbage away and have a nice place to live.
Daddy, there was a bunch of peach pits in there.
Oh boy, somebody must have canned some peaches and then gave us a present. That's always fun when somebody gives us a nice present. Okay, let's go take a look at the corn while we're here. We'll just grab an ear here, maybe.
Oh, can I grab one?
Sure, you can grab one. We're trying to see if we can take a look at the physiological aspects of a corn crop. Pull the husks back. Take a look at the corn. See what it really looks like.
Got one.
These little silks here that we call them, each one of those is connected to a kernel. So it's kind of like an umbilical cord. You know what umbilical cord is? Kind of the way you eat when you're inside mom's tummy when you were just a little baby. And the umbilical cord for these is to catch the pollen. So the wind or the rain's going to shake that and the pollen's going to fall down and it's going to go right onto the silk, and that's going to help to pollinate the corn so that each one of these kernels gets pollinated. So we want to make sure that they're all pollinated, and if we can get it right to the tip, that's the goal. Knowing what the crop looks like and what to expect, and being in there and feeling and touching and seeing what the crop is all about is a great thing so that they can learn more. And as you get into the closer to harvest, you know, it's pull a couple of kernels off and bite them between your teeth so that you know where that corn's at. Okay, let's go check on Sean, see what he's doing out here. I think he's been out here a little while this morning, so you're probably gonna have to give him a hand. Wonder how many glads he cut this morning. Oh, I don't know, maybe he did cut some sunflowers, I'm not sure. Okay, let's go see what he's up to. Hey, Sean, what's going on?
Where have you been? I've been working all morning.
We were helping Dad with the corn.
Everything's going okay here?
Yep.
Okay. You got lots of work for your sisters to help you with?
Yep.
I'll leave them here. I gotta go back to the house and do a couple things, and I'll come out and see how things are going. But make sure we got lots of glads at the stand this morning, okay? It's gonna be a busy weekend.
Yep.
Okay, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Crazy driver.
I think Chris and I work really well together.
I tend to focus more on my time in the field and on the growing of the crops, and she tends to focus more on the organization of the paperwork, paying the bills, and keeping our family organized throughout the week.
What are you up to?
I just wanted to go take a look at the corn. You want to come with me?
Sure. So what are you looking for?
I just want to see where it's at with maturity so we can kind of get an idea. BT corn is a GMO. GMOs are regulated by Health Canada and the CFIA. In the past, we've had issues with European corn borer, and now since we've been using BT corn for the last while, we don't have that issue anymore. It helps to keep the quality of the grain better. We feel that the research that's behind that and the science that's behind it gives us the confidence to understand that it's safe when it enters our food system. When you're in there, just kind of take a look. There is a new pest around. It's called Western bean cutworm. Different times of the year, we check our fields regularly depending on what we're looking for. We know there are a lot of conditions in the field that we can't control, but we want to make sure the ones that we can control, we do so in a timely manner so that we can harvest the most crop from our field. So just kind of keep an eye, take a look up. You know, sometimes you see a little bit of leaf disease on the leaves that we need to look for.
Yeah, I know that the products on our store shelves that are grown by Canadian farmers are safe. They're safe for my family and they're safe for every Canadian family.
No, everything looks pretty healthy in here. I'm pretty happy with how things look. Yeah, let's go check on the kids and see what they're up to.
All right. We want to keep our kids interested in agriculture, so Chris and I thought it would be kind of a fun idea for the kids to have a roadside stand. So we decided to grow gladiolas and zucchinis to sell at the road. It's been a really good learning experience.
$1 each.
Melise really takes control of our flower sales at the stand. You know, she's in charge of most of that daily operation. Sean and Sadie are both there to help.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Finding some stuff?
We got 3 zucchinis.
All right, good.
So did you guys have any customers today?
Yeah, well, actually, there were some customers that came. They wanted to buy zucchini flowers, like to eat.
Like
the
not,
flowers.
not the zucchini. They wanted
No.
the flowers.
Yeah.
To eat them.
Never sold zucchini
That
flowers.
sounds funny.
Interesting.
That sounds disgusting.
You don't think they'd be very good to eat?
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. Maybe we should cut some and take them in the house and try it. You never know till we try it.
So we're gonna go and whip up some zucchini flowers tonight, mix up some batter and give them a try. Okay, why don't you guys each grab one? So the recipe said that we're supposed to dip it in this batter and then deep fry them. I think it's gonna taste like deep fried flour and butter and lard. Oh, they smell kind of good. Who said they were trying this first?
Me.
Okay, grab a fork. Do you wanna try some?
Sure.
Oh, he's digging right in.
Tastes like popcorn.
Tastes like popcorn. All right.
A little salty.
A little bit salty. So do you want to try a little bit? Did great.
Did you guys make enough so I can have a piece?
Yeah.
Not bad.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, really good.
Oh, Sean found a new favorite. We won't have any more zucchini to grow because you'll be eating all the flowers now.
Yeah. The zucchini flowers are all right.
You know, they had their own flavor, and it was kind of a different thing that you tried, and you could try again, and I'm sure if friends came over, we could give it a shot with them and see what they thought it was all about.
If anyone comes looking for zucchini flowers, we'll sell them.
That's a nice one, Sage. Is that a male or a female?
Female.
Yeah?
I enjoy the lifestyle of being a farming family. It's got a lot of positives. I grew up on a farm and I had grandparents that farmed, and it's just the part of being a family that everyone's connected. They all come back to that farm. It's a way of life. It's being able to go and do something maybe at a time that other people have a regular job. You know, there's times that we're busy, there's times that we're not busy, but being able to just be more family oriented. I think that's the best part. It's more about the family than maybe the farm, but that's the aspect that I enjoy about it.
I think because I've grown up here my whole life, you take a lot of it for granted. You know, we look out our front window and we see Lake Erie. We look out every day, we can see a different color, we can see something different every day. And sometimes it's time to just stop and look at those things, and maybe you don't do that every day.
That would make a really good marshmallow roasting stick. It's kind of your style. It's not a place that we want to leave. You know, Chris and I plan to stay here as long as we possibly can because we love our life on the farm, and I don't think we'd trade it for the world.
Yeah, how about them zucchini flowers? Can I say it like that? Well, I said it like that, eh? Thanks to Real Farm Lives, we will have part 2 of the Renwicks. Learn more about their ag story on our next episode of Ag Life. And still to come, we meet the young 4-H mechanics. Do stay with us.
Ag Life, presented by ADM Lloydminster.
Once again, thank you for staying with Ag Life. And just a programming note, we'll be doing the best of Ag Life in another week, and then our next episode will be in the new year. Well, being top-notch at your craft takes many hours of working at times through the night. Let's meet the young mechanics.
Okay, put it on the piston. So if you do that, that's a bad thing, right? Last year we all did our own engines, which was a little chaotic, but so we decided to scale it down and just do one engine this year. So it seems to be working good.
Ken Hunt is a heavy-duty mechanic on the agriculture side. He's giving back to the community through 4-H. Last year they spent all winter working on the engines, taking them apart and restoring them. Young mechanics in training.
Even for non-farm kids, we've got a few town kids, it's just good knowledge to have. Everybody has vehicles. And
these 4-Hers are tearing down an old lawn mower.
this is our third class now, and then we'll order a rebuild kit for it and then start to reassemble.
The group meets every 2 weeks for about an hour and a half, so it will take a few months over winter to get this old engine up and running, if not racing.
That's what the kids would like. Yeah, we're going to get it running again in mobile, and then all the kids will be able to drive it. And then I don't know if we'll raffle it off or one of the students will just take it home to the farm.
These kids have their imaginations set on what possible use this old mower might have, and that may not be cutting the lawn.
We're going to soup it up is what we call it, and we're going to make it a drift lawnmower and sell it for the community.
14-year-old Carson Hunt is working hard to get this engine back in gear.
We've discovered there's some compression, but we don't know if there's full, and there's spark.
They will be looking for any clogs in this two-stroke engine.
Should I turn it?
No, you pinch my fingers in there.
Carson feels other young people can benefit from being in 4-H.
4-H is a bunch of people getting together to learn something new.
And even for the volunteer leaders, it means a lot to be able to inspire youngsters.
I enjoy teaching the class. It's a little bit giving back to the community, and these kids appreciate it. So now I dropped it in there.
How do you get it
Now
out?
what are we going to do?
Well, that's a wrap on this edition of Ag Life. Of course, our next show in a week from now will be the best of Ag Life. We'll look back at the last 3 months. Stacey Comer will be presenting that. And then a new episode comes your way in the new year, so look out for that too. So that's where we leave it. Of course, we invite your comments, story ideas. We love to hear from you. You can follow us, Primetime Local News, on our Facebook page, as well as on Twitter at Primetime Local News. PTLN News, that's on Instagram, and email is still tvnews@newcap.ca. Of course, you can send us mail here. We're at Stingray 5026 50th Street, Lloydminster, Alberta, T9V 1P3. I'm Gerard Lampow. We'll see you next time for all things Ag.